I'm going to let you start it off, Elizabeth.
Okay.
We are live.
Well, hi.
Hello there. Are
How
you
are you?
happy today?
Oh my gosh, I am so happy. I know I'm giddy today. What's your giddy today? I am so excited. And I know I've been talking to you about this for a while, but Vernon Brown is with us today. And he is one of my favorite people that came into my world not too long ago, but he's one of those people that you feel like you've known forever. You know what I'm saying? So I am so excited for you to get to know Vernon and everybody else. And I've been smiling all day knowing that you were coming on with us today. So thank you.
Thank you both. Thank you for that great introduction. I appreciate that.
I didn't even introduce you. I just said Vernon, my Vernon, but no, I will introduce you. So Vernon Brown in Virginia, I met him at an event that I was speaking at last year, and he was speaking there, and he is the owner and founder of What's Your Happi. He's a coach. He's a happiness coach. And I had never heard of a happiness coach. I was like, what is that? I can't wait to hear what he's going to say. But I mean, his company's called What's Your Happi. How fun. So yeah, I mean, and every time I see Vernon, he's smiling, he's positive, and I think everybody needs a little Vernon in their life.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you there. And thank you. And Renee and I, briefly right before we got started here, I was letting her know, like, I don't do anything unless it's fun. When you're having fun with something, even when it's a little bit of a struggle, you show up differently. Yeah. And so what's been 6 years now, 6 years, going into my 6th year, when What Your Happi got started, I thought, one, like you even mentioned, what's a happiness coach? It's like, I like that. I'm going to go with that because it's fun. It's just a different way of perceiving the world, doing, and kind of executing.
Can you share with us, Vernon, some of your background and what drew you to go down the path of being a happiness coach, which, by the way, is just plain awesome. Happiness coach is filled with awesomeness. So right off the bat, that's cool. But what's the background? What brings you to being a happiness coach?
I'll keep it, and that's a world-class question. It's, when I kind of give it a Reader's Digest, when I first started out in this world, it's very different from what it looks like now. I wasn't, confident. I was terrified of everything. If you said the word tornado, if you said the word spider, I'm like, it's just different. But it was a very small world for me, just because I thought that I could only achieve but so much. And that went on for about 18 years, and I was 5'10". I was just this odd duck in my family and just socially. And then, I don't know what happened. The universe definitely has a sense of humor. I shot up 6 inches overnight, literally in summer. I shot up 6 inches, and I just kind of grew into this guy who wanted to learn more. And when I got done with school, I initially started with psychology. I started with art. Then I changed to psychology. I wanted to understand why people did what they do. But when I got done with school, I said, what's the fastest way I can get to know people? Like, what's the fastest way that you can really connect with people? And it dawned on me, I'll be a bartender. And from being a bartender, it really showed me that it's not about the drinks. It's the way you connect with people, how you make them feel, what they're anticipating without even being aware of it. And I had a phenomenal time doing that. It was, I can't believe it was almost 10 years that I was a bartender. And it was great. I made a lot of money. I had a lot of fun. I made a lot of cool friends, but I wanted something more. Also in between, I did a little bit of modeling and acting. I just wanted to put myself out there. I just wanted to grow that world that I thought was so small. And when I got done modeling, I got done bartending, I said, what is here? What can I do? Where is the gap? I'm always looking for gaps. And I've just recognized I had a strong following with bartending because the way people I could just always kind of flip the circumstance around. I could always put a positive spin on it. Not saying, hey, you had a bad day. No, it's a good day. It's a good day. No, like I would really flip it around. Like, that's not quite the way I see it. And so I got with a mentor. I'm huge on having mentors, people who know a lot more about about a particular subject. My mentor said, you really should consider coaching. And I said, no way, buddy. But him being that smart, hard-headed guy, he kept pushing it. And I realized that I was saying no to something I should have been saying yes to. And when I said, okay, I'm going to do this, I wanted to do something different, and happiness. That's the one common thread that I had with so many different people in my life. It was happiness. They always said they felt better. They always said they understood more. They always just felt energetic. And that's what happiness is for me. It's energy. When you have more energy, I'm not going down a different path, but when you have more energy, you show up better. You can think clear, you can communicate better. You really show your true self.
Well,
yeah, I love this. I mean, I'm just sitting here and I'm just smiling because it's so true. I mean, Vernon has this energy and this positivity about him that is infectious, you know? And you want to be surrounded by people like that. I want to be, I mean, Renee, you're one of my people like that. I have a handful of people like that I look forward to being around them because I sit up a little taller. I see things a little bit differently, right? And it's not all about the negative and woe is me. It's like, oh my gosh, but how cool. Look at all these other great things going on. And it's great to be reminded of that. So I love that you get to do that on a daily basis. And I mean, you're being very humble. I mean, you have coached like a ton of people over your career, right? I mean, numbers are pretty large.
They are. I don't even have an exact figure, but it's definitely 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, he's coaching a lot of people, and I think that speaks volumes to who you are and what you're doing. So what does that look like to what are your clients experiencing with you? I mean, is it you're just checking in with them and just being that breath of fresh air and that positive voice, or what? Tell me what that looks like.
Well, it's, and this is a really great question because people often ask, what's it like? It's a little different for everybody in terms of what the circumstances are, but a lot of it is just coming to, I think firstly, it's gonna be a foundation of recognizing what you're amazing at. Oftentimes I see so many people go through different struggles in their life because they're focused on what's wrong and not what they need, what they're amazing at. And it's recognizing and being okay with saying, I'm amazing at this and building on that. It makes the process so much easier. It's about recognizing, and this is a great question that I always ask, and I even asked at the conference is, what makes you happy? What are you doing for fun? Fun is the first thing that goes when we get worried, we get concerned, we get stressed, we have uncertain conditions. Fun is the very first thing that go, and it needs to be the first thing the first thing that you need to go in action with. Now, for anybody watching this, it's when I say fun, when's the last time you had some fun? It's when you are just completely just there, you're present, you forget that it's cold, you forget that it's hot, you're just locked in. And we all have a different definition of happiness. That's my practice is what's your happy. And once you recognize that, you are scheduled to have happiness every single week, we just go. Some of my clients are experiencing a lot of growth in their business because they're executing. When your energy's higher, you're seeing more solutions, you're getting there faster. You just develop this kind of charisma because you're in your flow. Some of my clients are communicating so much better with their relationships because right now this is the best time since we're a little bit close quarters to work on and practice some different types of communication skills. And yeah, it's a little different, but it's always about recognizing where the positive is. And it's not that we're going to clap our hands and stomp our feet. I mean, that might make you smile. It might not necessarily make you happy, but it's about sitting back and recognizing what you really do have. Right? And do you mind if I kind of go off on a little tangent that kind of relates to this?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's when we look at when conditions change, and conditions change often. Right now, we're in part of what I've been calling the reset. This is a reset. For me, I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, it's in the world. But for me, I'm like, this is fantastic. There's a gap right now. Find a gap and then fill it. There's a gap in my business that I wanted to focus on. I'm filling it right now. I've got a lot of different clients who said, well, I wanted to work on this, want to work on that. Work on it. We got the time. No excuses. Find a gap and fill it. And that's why I think this is a great opportunity. Everybody can come out 10 times. I'll just even go on a smaller scale, 5 times better than what they were 90 days ago, because now we have the time to focus. We could talk about what's wrong all day long. That doesn't change anything. But we can talk about what we can do. That will change everything on what we can control.
Elizabeth and I have shared quite a bit of conversation around current circumstances. Obviously, in the global world, we're dealing with a crisis, and it is to be taken seriously. Sure. And then in parallel to that, we my opinion, and I'll speak on Elizabeth's behalf as well, we've shared conversation that we can't fixate on that, right? Like we need to compartmentalize in some degree. And my question is, how do you suggest people interject some space, and is it okay to interject that space while they're focusing on the energy of that happiness right now?
Sure. I think it's a great question. I think it starts first with a kind of an understanding of the way, this thing kind of works. It's designed to keep us alive. It's not designed to keep us happy. When I'm happy, it's not going to be thriving. Happiness is not, it's not going to keep us trying to evolve and become more and better. And the negative for us is like Velcro. It will just stick to you without even trying. It's going to stick, it's going to stick. And the positive takes some practice. It takes some, it takes practice, intentional practice. No, I think, it's a huge acknowledgement there to recognize, hey, we are going through a reset right now. We're going through some changes. Do we have the answer on everything? No. But recognizing that if you're going to be in a place of uncertainty and maybe some uncomfortable conditions that you can control to some degree, control it. Put a timer on that TV. Do not get consumed with watching the news. I love the news. I love being informed. But if I'm checking in and recognizing, hey, I feel a certain way, back off. Just back off a little bit. And emotions are nothing but energy. And that's another step with the understanding. And for what your Happy's practice, it's when you understand that emotions are energy, and energy is neither good nor bad, you can move this uncertain, this fearful energy into what can I do with this now? What type of conversations am I going to positively interject myself into? Who would I like to become after this? What would I like people to start saying about me when I leave a room, when we can start communicating better? Does that make sense to answer the question?
That makes sense. What about from the aspect of, so as a business owner, we obviously recognize, again, the crisis that's happening, but at the same point, we are operating our business. For Elizabeth and I, and so many of us in the real estate industry, we're deemed essential. So we are still able to transact. And there's this fear, I have fear that I'm afraid to put out any kind of messaging that there is transactional real estate going on because it seems insensitive. For example, if you had a couple sales in real estate, do you put that messaging out because that seems like it's a positive message that makes happiness, for your customer celebrating their new home, but at the same point you feel guilty because there's this huge crisis going on. So it's confusion and we feel guilty about it.
I think any messaging, and this is just give my opinion, any messaging that's going to be positive right now to give people hope that we are still moving and making progress with things, I think is an important message right now. Because what do smart, capable people do? We tend to stand still in the chaos, and we need leaders like yourselves out there letting people know, hey, we're taking the proper precautions. We're making sure that, I guess the CDC recommends 10 or more, but we're not even going to that number, but we still are conducting business. And as business owners, it's going to be important. I feel, and what I've seen work with so many business owners over the last 6 weeks, which I've been really focused on so they can learn how to pivot, but put in more positive messaging out there. So I think that's a fantastic idea.
Positive messaging. Elizabeth, we've just talked a lot about that. Feeling that need for, we want to be sensitive. And at the same point, there are still good things. There are still buyers and sellers who need to buy or sell a home. And
absolutely,
we want to be there to serve them as well.
Yeah. And not even just, the positive messaging I think is huge. But I also am sharing the fact that it's okay to have a down day. It's okay to feel what's going on. I think that's healthy. But I'm like you, Vernon. I don't watch the news. I had a friend ask me, well, how are you staying in touch with everything? How are you knowing what's going on? Well, my industry is keeping me posted. I get emails. I can see what I need to see, but I don't need to be consumed.
Absolutely.
And I have a little bit of an addictive personality in a way where if that's why I can't watch reality shows or Netflix or anything else, because I'll sit there and binge watch them because I gotta watch it the whole way through in one sitting. I wouldn't do well in that situation, and that is where then I get anxious, and then I get negative, and then I get down. And so I just know that about me, and I remove that You know, my husband will keep me updated where I need to know. I have the information
Sure.
without having to sit in front of a TV. The other thing is, silly as it sounds, is getting up and taking a shower, like making myself feel like a human being. I mean, Renee and I, both of our families have been shelter in place long before the ordinance was put in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 30 something days. I don't even know anymore. That's a choice we've made, but with that comes some anxiety and some frustrations from time to time, and you have to be able to get out of that a little bit. And I find for me that, okay, go take a walk, take a shower, do some things that make me a little bit happy. But it's okay to still feel not happy all the time, right? I don't want to be unrealistic, and I don't think that's what you're saying either, but there is a way to look at it in a positive light with what we're going through.
Yeah, and you're right. Sometimes people say, well, you're always happy. No, I'm not. That's my son. I'm not always happy. But I don't stay in whatever emotion you want to define it and long. It's not that it doesn't happen. Sometimes I get in a bad mood. Sometimes I get grouchy. But most of the time, it's just, I don't want to say it's a choice, but it's just, I just don't stay there very long because I'm like, oh man, this is, use an example, my son, he's driving me crazy, but I know once I make the popcorn and watch a movie, it's going to be fine. But with positive messaging, Renee, you said something I just want to bring up in terms of posting things. Right now, there are so many small businesses that are like, how am I going to make it? How am I going to make it? What am I going to do? And we need more positive messages because we start picturing that being us. Like, well, if they can do it, what about me? And then you'll see these, one of my clients, he was just going through a tough time, reached out to me and said, hey, can we talk? His business, he's in lighting and AV equipment. Business was wiped out overnight when they found out that college and universities had shut down. That was his bread and butter. And, through the conversation, just, again, I'm always asking questions and having to make some evolutions, I think, in what you're happy about, what I've been saying to people. Anyway, but what happened was, with the energy being higher from being our positive messaging, he recognized there was a gap, and we recognized that funeral homes, I'm not saying this is a very happy topic, but his funeral homes also need lighting. He never considered that. But with the more energy that we have, the more positivity that we're seeing, it gives us more creativity. This is the time where every business owner needs to figure out, how can I be more creative? And we need more people out there putting ourselves in the way of success.
One exercise you had us all do, and I don't remember all the specifics, so you're going to have to remind me. We had to find something that made us happy, but there were rules around it.
Oh yeah. All right.
And it's like, I'll find something that's happy. And then came the rules. Share that.
Perfect. Because I mentioned earlier, I didn't really close in. So the thing is, I always ask people, what's the last time what do you do for fun? What makes you happy? And I'll ask, show of hands. And everybody's hands goes up for the most part. And then I'll say, I need to qualify this. It only can involve yourself. It cannot involve buying or spending, and it cannot involve food or alcohol. And just 95% of the time, 90% of the room's hands will drop. Those three things, what makes me happy? Great, it makes you happy. Cannot involve buying or spending. Cannot involve food or alcohol. And the big one is, it cannot involve yourself. And it's that question.
Whoa.
What's that?
I said, whoa, my hand was up and then my hand went down, Vernon.
One of the agents that was in there, she was all about Chick-fil-A. She was cracking me up. She's like, oh, I got it. It's Chick-fil-A. And he's like, hold on, can't spend money. She's like, okay, I'll still get Chick-fil-A. I can't be eating. And she was like, well, that's the only thing that makes me happy. It's the funniest.
Do coupons count? Coupons count.
But no food, right? And so anyway, but it's good. We all had to sit there and say, oh, that's hard, because I'm very social. For me, I want to go and be with friends, and I want to be with family. We want to be doing, right? I don't ever sit there by myself. I'm like, whoa, what would I do? And for me, I'd grab a book. I haven't been able to sit and read a book forever, as silly as that sounds, but that would make me happy. In a hammock.
There we go. You deserve the hammock. But it sounds so simple at first, like, oh, no buying or spending, no food or alcohol, no by myself. And you're like, and it's one of the things that whenever I ask someone, again, what makes you happy? What have you been doing? They're like, oh, I do this, I do that. And I'm not knocking alcohol whatsoever. I love wine. But if that's the kind of the sole thing we're doing for wine, we need to expand on that a little bit. And the big thing is, if you don't have an answer to that, that's great. Now you can start getting curious about things. What could I explore? What's something I used to do for fun when I was younger? What's something that I've thought might be fun? Explore, explore, explore. That's when we get into our genius, when we're just having fun. And as adults, we have families, we have our business, we have just these things we have to manage, and we forget to have fun. My practice that's not the entirety of my practice, but that's always the first step of my practice.
How long should someone allocate each week? So if you're saying, what's something that you could do that would make you happy, given the criteria you outline?
Sure.
First thing I thought of is, oh my gosh, I have no idea. And then as you were talking, I thought, okay, well, if I think right now, one of the things that makes me happy under that criteria would be my daily run walks, right?
Yeah.
Where I get my clarity. So how long should someone be contributing that time and allocating it for themselves to feel that process?
My first reaction to that is as much as you want. But I recognize that we do have some time constraints in our schedule. And when these are what I call positive brain breaks. It's 1 to 2, 3 to 5 minute breaks. You could look at, I love my son to death. He's my gingerbread. If I'm having a particularly tough day and I'm traveling for speaking, I look at pictures of him. It's when you look at his beautiful smile, you look at your kid's beautiful smile, you're looking at your dog, your cat, you just, your shoulders drop. You ever been at the airport and you see someone talking with someone they love and you can just tell they just light up. And those brain breaks, these 3 to 5 minutes, are perfect times to listen to your favorite Whitney Houston, your favorite Madonna song, listen to Eric Clapton. These songs, you hear the music, and you just want to start moving a little bit and you just kind of let go. But you can get those in every single day. If you tell me you don't have 5 minutes to make yourself smile, try harder. But and that's what starts, 1 to 2, 3 to 5 minutes. But if
I'm curious oh, sorry, go ahead, Vernon.
No.
I'm curious, in your business, what other industries do you most prominently work with?
I tend to work with a lot of industries that have a lot of stress. And that's going to be healthcare. And I'm not vilifying any industry. I'm just looking over the data over the years. But it's healthcare, it's going to be some litigation, real estate. Those are my big 3. Entrepreneurship, number 1. Take that back. That's number 1. So it's a pretty tall salad of things.
I see a need for the service you offer now more than ever, just saying.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I think it's very relevant right now. And I mean, what would you tell people right now? Because there is, Renee and I have been talking to a lot of people. We're reaching out to people. That's just how we are, right? We're talking to our friends and our spheres and our business associates and our clients, right? And the common theme is fear, the unknown, and people are stuck in that fear. And like you said, and like Renee said, it's not that we're minimizing this at any rate. This is a very serious situation the globe is going through, right? But we also have that opportunity to use this time wisely, make positive impacts, make positive deposits into others. So what are you telling people, or what do you recommend telling people that are stuck in that negativity and so they're just so fear-based right now? What do you tell people, and what would you encourage others to tell those that are in that same situation?
That's a really good question. I think sometimes that fear people get locked in and thinking that fear means I'm afraid. Sometimes that fear can be very sneaky and show up in other ways. And I just want to say this just to highlight a couple of things I've been seeing. And when energy gets low, concentration, focus, awareness, communication skills, they're out the door. They're gone. You become a bit more argumentative. You could just be on edge a little bit. And so sometimes that fear can be sneaky and try to sneak in like that. And isolation, a huge one. We'll start isolating ourselves. Hey, I don't have time to talk, hang up. We just want to lock ourselves in. We just want to stay safe, however this thing defines it. A lot of what I've been talking with people about is to get them into what we talked about earlier. Limit the amount of TV or social media that's negative. Limit that. If you're watching the news, if you're going to watch whatever your respective network is, make sure you're watching I became to Comedy Central. Make sure, kind of balance
America's
those
Funniest
things.
Home Videos, right?
Right, exactly. Just balance it out. If you're telling you're watching this and you feel like, then you need to watch something that makes you happy. However you define it. I'm a fan of irreverent humor. I've been watching Dave Chappelle. He cracks me up. But also making sure that we reach out to the people that make us happy. And that's why I love when you were talking about earlier, Elizabeth, you mentioned that you and Renee, like you just have that kind of bond. You love talking to each other each day. It's with the old adage, you lie down with dogs, you get fleas. Well, if you lie down with positive fun dogs, you get positive fun fleas. You just want to surround yourself. And I don't mean that to demean anybody. I just use it as an example because a lot of people really connect with that. But you become who you hang around. You're the sum of the top 5 people you hang around. So hang around fun people who are positive, who are energetic, who are going to hold you to a standard of, come on, let's laugh. Remember that time we did blah, 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 and he chased us? Like those things are just, they're vital right now. And in terms of a daily thing, it's definitely you need to give yourself a week of routine, a daily routine, which is huge and which includes showering to some cases for a lot. But
start at shower.
Yeah.
Shower? A weekly shower? Or did you say daily?
Oh, a daily shower, but a daily routine, which includes a shower.
Clarifying.
Thank you for catching that. A daily routine that includes a weekly shower. A daily routine that includes a shower, but give yourself something to look forward to. Like we have pizza night. Like I love pizza night. That's just something I look forward to. I look forward to, I love to cook. That's my happy. I love cooking. And it changes things. We need to set goals and progress on those. So that's been a lot of where things have been started.
I'm curious what your
Sorry.
go
ahead, Renee.
go ahead, Elizabeth.
No, go. You're good.
I'm curious what Vernon's thoughts are on the correlation between finding and maintaining your happy and sleep and your sleep patterns.
That's a good question.
Say that one more time. I think I might have missed it.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on the correlation between finding and establishing or growing your happy and your sleep patterns. And why I'm asking you specifically is these last 4.5 weeks now, my sleep has been in the toilet. And so it's this constant struggle of, well, I was up from 2 until 6 a.m. last night, right? And why am I not sleeping? And then that's impacting. And so what correlation, if any, is there with that?
From my, again, this is just from my practice, it's this thing feeling as though that it's not safe. If the wolves are after you, do you really go to sleep? Of course not. And so I kind of my reaction to that. Does that make sense before I go on?
That makes sense.
From my understanding of how I, kind of execute things is whenever I notice that my sleep patterns have been interrupted, I start thinking of what can I do to change that. I'm very cautious with why questions because smart people, why can get you away from what you want to do. Because we'll be like, well, why is this and why? You spent 3 hours on something where you could have a better, more productive use of our time. Is what can I do to try to get more sleep? What did I watch before I went to sleep? What can I do in a day that maybe tire me out a little differently since I might not be traveling as much? So that way we can get you out of that. I'm always looking to be more productive.
I like
that. Answer your question?
That answers the question.
Perfect.
I've noticed my sleep has been all messed up as well. So, or I'll sleep, like last night I slept heavy because I had a headache when I woke up, I was like clenched and I had these crazy dreams. And I'm always wondering, okay, why is it that some nights, I can't sleep at all. And other nights I'm really, really having these crazy dreams where it doesn't help anyway, because I don't feel like I was rested, but I know I slept,
Sure.
kind of a thing. But you mentioned something earlier that people say to you, you're always happy, right? And you're like, I'm not always happy. It's funny because people have said that to me and said that to Renee. And they're like, why are you always so positive? Why are you so happy? Well, first of all, I think it's more energy to be negative. It takes more energy and it's exhausting. Secondly, what you said is I'm not always that way, which we did. Renee and I were on a panel with 5 others yesterday talking about this to agents all over the country in our campus. And we were all up there because we're like, how are you really doing? The conversation was real talk. How are you really doing? And the 7 of us just opened up saying, it's one foot in front of the other each day. It's a challenge. Here are the struggles that we are having. but we're not letting that define who we are. We're not letting that define our world or our family or our situation, right? I mean, we all are in this together. It's not that this is just happening in Austin, Texas, right? And Virginia and Florida aren't impacted by it. It's not that it's just happening, you know, in the US, right? It's, we're all facing this at the same time, and we're all interacting with each other and the situation differently. And so I think it's very healthy, because we had a lot of engagement before, during, and after that panel yesterday about, oh my gosh, thank you for speaking up, because we do sometimes come across being too positive. But instead of that, it's like, okay, how can we use that positive to help others? And what came out of that is they want to have a weekly panel and have different voices up there. And it's like, okay, this is how we all bond and help each other out. But I think it's important for people to know that just because you're being positive doesn't mean you're not real and this isn't affecting you. You're just choosing to approach it a little bit differently.
That's right. You know, you brought up a really big distinction. Oftentimes people might say, well, am I happy? And especially early on for me, people say, well, I'm happy, I'm energetic. I was like, I never asked if you were energetic. You know, that, see, people have this, they just perceive it differently. But it's the honesty there, and I love that you all did that. Like, it's just about being honest with the circumstance. Sometimes, you know, I'll be honest with you, it kind of sucks sometimes. I'm like, ah, man, I want to go back to my routines. However, like you mentioned, that's not the defining thing of me. It's like, it sucks. Oh, well, this is what I can control and this is what I can look at.
Acknowledging the circumstances for what they are is not always easy, but I find it to be one of the most important things that we focus on. I also know that Elizabeth and I have shared a lot of conversation over realizing our children are watching us. And I think conversation should be had from all parents about ease up on yourself, that we're not going to, we're never perfect, but certainly not going to navigate as parents this in the most perfect fashion. We are now responsible for facilitating some form of education in the home while we're navigating our businesses and everything else going on. But what's most important, I feel, is that the children can see how we manage our emotions and that we allow space for times when we say, like you just said, Vernon, this sucks, right? Like I don't usually say that, and I don't let the kids say that, but Elizabeth, you mentioned this the other day and I almost cracked up, is I did the same thing. I went to my kids and I said, if you're having a rough time, I think right now under our safe roof, we need to raise our hand and we need to say, I'm having a rough time and I need to give you space to say, this sucks, I'm mad, and to really get it out. And then also teaching them there is so much beauty that we are experiencing right now because we would have never had this opportunity before. And again, I don't mean to marginalize or not pay the attention needed to how serious of a situation it is, but we have to find some happiness. And the happiness is we're getting to spend time with our kids in a new way.
You're spot on. I love, and you brought up a really key point that I've been talking with some people about, with parents. You know, like we all have this memory, whether it's a parent, a guardian, or it's just somebody when you were younger, and they might have made you watch Green Gables or the Beverly Hillbillies or Bonanza. You're like, why am I watching this stupid show? And you were a kid and you kind of rebelled against it. But as an adult, you're like, man, that was really cool now. Or, you know, and now is the time where we can be with our kids and get them to watch the show they might not want to watch, that is age appropriate, of course. Don't take them to, don't go to HBO, but that's age appropriate. And you can start creating a lot of those memories. Yes, things are different and uncertain, but right now, as you mentioned, it's about being a leader in your household. I love that you do that. I thought that's a great idea to do with your kids, but it's not all bad. That's one big thing. It's not.
Or you have a zombie apocalypse. Elizabeth.
I thought that was a good idea. I thought that was a good idea. That was actually, in hindsight, that was a very bad idea because that resulted in 2 nights of me getting no sleep, but it was really hilarious at the time. So
you got to share the backstory now.
I was about to say, what is this?
Oh, I thought you knew. So our power, all the storms in Texas, our power went out the other night, and my kids were all just going to bed, right? And my house is upside down, so the main level, my bedroom's up here with the kitchen and everything else, but all the kids are downstairs. and it went pitch black. And all of a sudden they're all screaming and dogs barking and everybody's running upstairs all freaking out. And I decided to tell them it was a zombie apocalypse.
Oh my gosh. Now that you said, I remember you put that on Facebook.
It was really, yeah, it was really hilarious until, I thought everybody and the dog, multiple nights, climbing in bed, and yeah, so not so funny, but I cracked myself up. Anyway, but my friend was
You
talking
found
to me
some
today.
happy.
Yeah.
That
You
makes me
found some
happy.
happy.
Terrorizing my children is my happy. I think that's what it is, right? But a friend of mine was talking to me today. We were talking work stuff, and she had asked me something about like my schedule, and she said, you know, I think this is going to be really good for you. I said, well, what do you mean by that? She goes, well, you always go. And we were talking about schedules and how I was helping like homework this morning, and I was working on some other stuff and what I was doing. She goes, I've never heard you just kind of stop. You know, you're cooking with the kids, you're going for walks with the kids, you're going on bike rides, you guys are doing a whole lot. She goes, I think this will be really good. And I said, well, I'm starting to realize, and you guys might not agree with this, I said, I'm starting to realize I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert, because I really kind of like staying in my little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, maybe things will change for you after we all come out of this. And I was like, I hope so. You know, it's really kind of defining the priorities and what's important and finding new ways to do things. Just because we've done something one way all of this time doesn't mean that's the best way to do it. And I think it's showing us ways to navigate our household, navigate our work, and our relationships a little bit differently. And so, yeah, I think all of us are going to be able to gain from this and move forward in a different way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm curious. We find ourselves in a less than desirable mindset, which I think we have opportunity for that more times than ever right now.
For sure.
What, if any, practices or tools can we focus on to pull ourselves out and find silver linings?
I think the first step is one of the big tools is the awareness of it. That's going to be huge. When we've talked about that. The next thing that I talk about, I think Elizabeth heard me say this as well, is where is your list of things that make you happy? You know, people look at me like, well, why do I have a list of things that make me happy? That's absurd. Well, if you open up your calendar app, I'm sure you have Capital One, bill needs to get paid. You have a list for that. You got a list of things you don't want to do, bills you don't want to pay, but have a list of things that makes you happy. Because when we kind of get in that low energy state, you will forget. You won't remember just that you love to go fishing. You won't think about that because you're going to be thinking about things that can agitate you and kind of keep you in that state. And also, it's about recognizing your network. Who can help, you know, maybe pull you out of that? You know, I've got one of my really good friends. I mentioned I'm not always super happy. It's not that I'm not positive, but sometimes I can be like a, you know, and
Yeah.
one of my really good friends in New York, and, you know, I love him to death, love him. He's my best friend. He cracks me up because he's just so blunt, but I love him for that. But it pulls me out of it. It always does. Other things we can do is looking at our pets. I think sometimes when we get in a bad mood, we don't realize that the little 4-pound Yorkie I'm looking at, I'll look at her, I'm like, oh, she doesn't even know what's going on. Oh, and it just, even looking at her just now made me smile.
I love that you have a 4-pound Yorkie. I totally do not picture you having this little tiny.
I know. That's why I have it. You don't expect it.
No, I don't. That's awesome.
I'm not walking a dog. Can't do it. That's why.
That's funny.
No hedgehogs?
No, I've got hermit crabs.
Oh, that's worse. Those things are smelly.
Oh, please don't let him hear you say that. Oh my gosh, you'll get him started.
Yeah.
You don't stink.
He loves them though, right?
Oh yeah.
His son, his little guy, is some kind of cute Renee, and he's named after Wolverine.
That's right. His name is Logan. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a nerd. I'm the biggest nerd you'll probably ever meet, and I don't care, but I love comic books.
It makes you
Exactly.
happy. That's
Comic
right.
books, they make me happy.
That's right.
But yeah, I was like, how can I do something really cool for my son? I'm like, his name will be Logan. So
That's a great name. How old is he?
he's 5. I'm surprised he hasn't come out and said hi yet.
Oh, such a cute age. Oh my
The
goodness.
other day when Vernon and I were talking, I think he was scootering around the house or something, and Vernon was like, no scooter. I mean, and I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. I think he had to tell him like 10 times. And then he finally muted out the Zoom. So I'm like, oh, now Dad's serious. So Yeah.
right?
Like, he'll just get on his scooter and go vroom, vroom, just around. I'm like, what are you doing?
Listen,
Anyway,
they have few outlets, so
Whatever works. So
we
yeah,
have to
exactly.
extend them some grace as well. Okay, so we have to ask this question, and
Go for it.
we didn't prep it, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Love it.
Is Vernon, what is your happy?
Oh, that's easy. Let me see. Number one, I love to cook because I'm cooking tonight. I make the best tacos. Anyway, but I love to cook. Cooking is such a creative space for me. It's like magic. It's like I just love it. That's a big happy for me. Number two is drawing. I love to draw. I've got my son. He's got his own easel. He's got his own art set, tons of color pencils. I got more art supplies here than
what
anything.
kind of draw? What do you draw?
So I'm very analytical. I will take a picture and I will draw your face and it'll look, all modesty aside, I will draw your face and it'll look exactly like it. And
Wow.
yeah, but I didn't want to make a career out of that. And that's why I switched to psychology. But it's those are my big go-tos. Another thing, this is very odd, is I love putting furniture together. I have so much fun but it's just that how can I do this or make it just that construction thing. I love that. So yeah, those are my big happies.
There's a sense of accomplishment with putting furniture together. While we were in isolation here or shelter in place, I decided to order my daughter a new bed. And
Ooh.
there's the same thing. We were like, yeah, I want to put this together. Where's the instructions? Lay it all out. I
Right.
actually like that too. Yeah.
It's an odd thing. I'm happy you say that.
Yeah.
And another happy, and I normally I would have brought this up first, but kind of with shelter in place and this physical distancing, I love going to grocery stores. I don't want to buy anything. I just love just going to, when I get to travel, I go to like different grocery stores and see what they have. Like, oh, so you have this really cool hot sauce. You have this really cool cornmeal. It's fun to me because in my mind, I'm thinking of what recipe can I apply this to? I never cooked with these before. Oh, what would I cook? And it just sparks this curiosity.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That I think is a little more odd than putting furniture together, quite frankly. But
But you know what? That's my happy.
you're happy. That's
And
right.
that's okay. And my happy, big thing is what your happy is won't be my happy. And that's all right because we can be happy together doing happy things and I don't know, make the world a happier place.
But isn't that fun? You get to know people. I mean, it makes me happy knowing that about you, right? I mean, it makes me happy knowing that Renee enjoys walking and running. How are we friends? Because that's not on my high priority list. So yeah, it's just fun.
So what I am gathering from today, apart from the fact that I've had a huge smile the whole time because yes, it is contagious and you are just awesome, Vernon, is there is something to be said significantly at the therapeutic effect of allowing that space in your day. And now more than ever,
Yes.
we need to just make that okay to do that.
You need to demand. You need to demand without any regard. You need to demand it. If you want it, get it. There's no excuses. Get it. You got the time. I don't want to hear, and this is when there's a different side of me kicks in, like, you need to make this happen. It's a priority. I'm not telling you to go out and do cartwheels in the street, but I'm telling you, if you love to put model cars together and wear a backwards baseball hat, do it. If you want to do whatever and it makes you happy, as long as it's safe and legal, do it. And so you can just pay attention to what your thoughts are like after you do it. Like the things that made you mad, your spouse might be driving you crazy. Just it goes away. If you can't find anything to do, get in a car, drive around the block, listen to your loudest, I don't know, Patti LaBelle song you can think of and sing along with her. You'll be like, I got this, but do it like your life depends on it.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in your car as you're driving around town, belting out all your songs, because I know you are.
Tinted windows, my dear. Tinted windows.
Oh,
I am not joking
no.
about that. I sing like.
And not having the guilt associated. That's always been my problem. It's like when I try to take there's so many things I'm supposed to be doing, and I have that guilt when I take some time for me, and I'm trying to put that aside. It's like, no, I'm just going to not let the guilt overtake me. So.
It's
for
a
those,
sorry.
I was just going to say, for those who might need some nudges toward finding their happy, how do they find you?
Oh. Well, the fastest way is shoot me an email at vernon@whatsyourhappi.com. And it's happy with an I, Happi. You can also find me on my Facebook page. I post there regularly. LinkedIn, I post there regularly. But yeah, try to make it fairly easy to find me. Now, it's up to you to take the time to contact me. But I let people know, spend 30 minutes with me and it will change your entire perspective on many, many, many things.
Well, you've certainly changed mine today.
No, well, thank you.
Made my day. Very happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
I'm not kidding. I've been talking about this all week. Have I not, Renee? I'm like, oh, I can't wait for you to meet Vernon. I cannot wait for you to meet Vernon. So.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The timing is impeccable. And okay, so now I'm really going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we need to see some cooking with Vernon videos somewhere.
And some of these drawings. I want to see.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I love cooking with Vernon.
Here's the thing. I'll share this with you all. It is incredibly uncomfortable for me to be on camera. Incredibly. I do not like being on camera. So even the thought of cooking with V scares me.
You've told me that in the past and I don't buy it because Renee, isn't he so comfortable? The camera loves him.
Oh my gosh, the camera loves you. And Elizabeth and I are really big on accountability partnership, which I know, Vernon, even in just the hour that I've spent with you for the first time, I know that you're big on accountability as well.
Oh, you better believe it.
I think we're going to send you an assignment. I would like to see a cooking or a drawing with Vernon.
Renee.
I think it's good. It's good for the soul. Because when you share what makes you happy, that also cascades out.
Renee, don't do this. Don't try to box me.
I love it.
Don't do this. Because I'm a man of my word, and if I say I'm going to do something, I have to do it. But don't do this to Renee.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 1.
We'll just leave that there.
What? Deal.
Vernon's like,
what you're scared, all right? So I love it. You challenged him. We'll see.
I certainly hope that this doesn't mean that you won't join us again, though.
Of course not. But well played, Renee. Well played. And Elizabeth, thank you for joining in with that. Thank you.
You know.
What you're scared. Really?
Oh, you are awesome. It has been a complete pleasure. I'm so, so grateful that you carved time out to share with the two of us and all of our viewers.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love both of y'all's energy. Whatever I can do to help. And I appreciate it.
What's your happy? We're going to share that out with everybody. What's your happy? Bernadette, what's your happy? And hopefully people, I think people really want to and need to connect with you. I think there's a lot of people out there that will see this and say, oh, I've never even considered that. I think I need some Vernon in my life. So I think we just had to share you. You're a gift that we had to share today. So thank you for coming on with us.
I really appreciate that. You really are going to make me blush. Thank you.
Now go get to cooking.
Navigate the rest of your day with your happy, and we look forward to seeing your cooking or drawing videos.
Whatever, sure.
Bye. You're awesome. Bye, guys.